very well, welcome back to another Disney video. Grab yourself a drink because this is going to be a long one. This is my trip report from my solo trip in May 2017. So I've actually never done one of these videos before, so I'm just going to kind of go with the flow, and if I forget anything, leave me any questions below and I will answer them below or in another video if there's loads. So I flew out on the 7th of May solo with Virgin Atlantic. So I'll talk about my flight first, my airport experience. So I actually was invited to go into the #1 lounge at Gatwick. I had a bit of a mare when I got to Gatwick. I basically went to the wrong terminal because Virgin have moved, and I went to the wrong terminal because I didn't read it correctly, and then I had to get over to the other terminal. So by the time I got to my airport lounge, I was very stressed. But by the time I got into the #1 lounge and I sat down, I was so much more chilled. I'd had a Prosecco, I had some breakfast, complimentary, and some fruit, and some, what did I have? I had some croissants, and I had like an egg hash thing. It was so nice. I sat there basically until my flight boarded. I had a great view of all the planes and the runway. And it was just really nice to sit there. It was nice and chilled, and I didn't spend any money duty free. It was meant to be £35 a person, and I would highly recommend it. You probably need like a couple of hours in there to get your money's worth, but it was really nice to sit there. I sat there with my laptop, I answered a few emails and just chilled out, guaranteed place to sit, complimentary drinks, and it was really nice. So we came to board my flight without hitch. It was great. I got on my flight, I sat down in my seat, and originally when I booked my seat I was the only person on my row. I was on a row of 3. And I always sit near the front when I'm going into Orlando because of immigration, and I don't want to be the last person off the plane. And I was joined by this couple. My plane was not full though. What I came to realise quite quickly when we took off was that my seat was broken and my TV kept turning itself off. So I watched Moana, I had dinner, and then I was like, oh god, I can't, just because I felt so rude. The guy behind me had to shove my seat forward for me. Like I was like, I can't get my seat forward for takeoff. So he shoved it forward for me, and I was like, I don't want you to think I'm being rude, because I was reclined. I didn't want him to think I was being rude, and also you can't take off with your seat reclined. So he like gave it a good shove for me, bless him, and his wife were like, oh, we'll push it for you. But then I eventually moved, so I just went up to the air hostess and said, look, my seat's broken, my entertainment's broken, can I move? They were like, yeah, the flight is not even anywhere near full. And they took me about 5 rows back, because I didn't want to go too far back, and I had a row of 3 all to myself. But actually when I looked straight across my row, the whole row was empty. So my 3 was empty, the 4 in the middle was empty, and the 3 the other side was empty. So the plane was not full by any means. I travelled on a Sunday, and I think that's why. If I travelled on a Saturday, that plane would have been full. But nobody wants to land on a Monday morning on the way home, and I think that's probably something to do with it. Anyway, got into Orlando International, so I thought I'd explain a bit about what happens at immigration now. So you go into Orlando International, you land. Our plane was the first in out of all the international flights. So it's probably the best immigration experience I've ever had in my entire life. I was in and out of immigration in 10 minutes. No more than that. So what happens now is everybody goes into this machine, you scan your passport, you do your fingerprints, and you have your photo taken. You get this little ticket printed, and then you go into another queue, and the queue then goes one of 2 ways. If you've been into the United States in the last like 3 years, I think it is, you've got a valid ESTA and you've been in before, you can go down the express lane, which basically means you get to a guy at the end, he stamps your sheet of paper, stamps your passport, and you're away. Or you go down to meet an actual immigration officer and have all your fingerprints taken and have your eye photo and all that taken. So I've obviously already done that because I went last year, and I'm still on the same ESTA, and I don't think that's got anything to do with it, but I went last year, and that's the main thing. So I got to go down the express queue. I was literally in and out. I spent more time in baggage claim than I did in immigration. But families were being diverted down the second line. Yeah, immigration was great, 10 minutes in and out. I spent more time waiting in baggage claim and to get out of baggage claim. So once my bag finally appeared, it was literally like one of the last ones off the plane, you have to get out, and that's where you have to go through customs, and the queue was so long. It probably took me 20 minutes to get out of customs. Once I'd done that, I was through international. You then get on a monorail. You can choose to put your bag back on a luggage rack thing. Don't do it if you can help it. do not put your bag back on the conveyor belt. Keep hold of it because you will be waiting the other side for a very long time. So got hold of my bag, got into the main kind of atrium, found where I could get Uber from. Now Uber is not the cheapest from MCO, but I think that is changing because one of the Uber drivers while I was there was telling me that the governor's just signed something that said that they will be able to operate in Orlando International again, but I don't know when. So it was brilliant. Found where I got my Uber from. I was literally out of the airport in an hour by the time I'd got over, ordered my Uber, got my Uber. It was fantastic. It was brilliant. And I was in my hotel an hour and a half after landing. I landed at 4 o'clock. I was in my hotel by 5:30. It's honestly the quickest I've ever moved through Orlando International, but that new immigration system, if you've already been in, is perfecto, and I'm so glad that me and Brogan will get to use that as well when we go, because we've both been into the States in the last, like, she went to New York and I've been to Florida last year, so we're going to have no issues getting through. So I got to my hotel, which was the Red Lion in Main Gate West, and I'm going to leave a TripAdvisor report because I have to say it was brilliant for what I needed it for. It was fantastic. I wanted somewhere to sleep at night and to shower, and for that it was phenomenal. I can't comment on any of the other facilities, I didn't use them. However, my room was always clean, I got fresh towels every day even though I didn't need them, and I didn't get robbed, which is also an incredible bonus when you stay in a hotel, because you hear these horror stories regardless of what hotel it is. You hear the horror stories of people having things taken. I had nothing taken, so that's like yay, yay for me. And it was great. My bed was comfy, it was clean, the water was hot, and it was as close to Disney as I could physically get. So it was on the 192. You literally came out of my hotel, drove like 100 metres down the road, and then that was the entrance to Disney. And so it was really great. I'm going to do a full video on getting in and out of Disney. They basically had a shuttle, but their shuttle times were a bit weird. So this was the one downside. So the shuttle times were 7:25 in the morning or 11. And then coming back they were really early as well, so I didn't use the shuttle coming back. But I did use the shuttle once to get into Magic Kingdom early. And I wish I'd planned and used it more often. You do have to book the shuttle, and I wish I'd done that more often. Like I said, I'm going to do a full video on it. But basically from that hotel, it cost me $6 to get to Hollywood Studios, $10 to get to Magic Kingdom, $8 to get to Animal Kingdom and Epcot, which was amazing. I ran up a big Uber bill because I used Uber every day. It was still cheaper than getting a car. It was still cheaper than staying on Disney. So I'm really, really pleased with my decision. And I would honestly recommend that hotel to anybody if you're just looking for shower and sleep in, because it was great. Room was great, comfy. I've said it all before, but it was really good. I thoroughly recommend it. So my tickets for Disney were actually provided for me from a company called Florida Tix. Now, I've worked with Florida Tix before. I really like them as a company. I've met them in person. It's not just a, hey Charlotte, can you do this for me? I know them, I've met them. They are passionate about what they do, and they actually said to me, hey, here's a ticket for Disney. We know you're going on a solo trip, which was lovely. The good thing about Florida Tix is that when you buy your tickets, you can pay a deposit and then pay them off. I know that's a good option for a lot of people, because when I buy my Disney holiday, I like to pay it off in installments. And if you're doing a bit of a DIY job and you're booking like a villa or you're booking a hotel off site and you want to get your tickets separately, they are a great company to do it from. Yeah, it was great. I had Memory Maker, they do deals all the time. Yeah, just really great. So they provided my ticket for me with Memory Maker, 14 days for the price of 7, which is a great deal. And that's how I got in and out of the parks every day. The good thing about if you buy a ticket from Florida Tix as well is you can actually hook it up to a Magic Band. So you can buy a Magic Band if you don't have one, if you want one, but if you have an old one that still works, you can just hook your new ticket up using the My Disney Experience app and you are away. So that's how I got in and out of the parks every day, and it was great. I had no hassle. What you do when you get to Disney with your new ticket is you take the ticket, or if you put on your Magic Band, and you press it against the Mickey Mouse at the entrance. It will like do a little white circle round, and then there's a fingerprint scanner next to it, and then when it's time for the fingerprint, that will light up. You put your finger on and then it'll go green, and that's your entrance, you're in. There's no putting it through a turnstile anymore, none of that. I put mine on a Magic Band, so I literally held my Magic Band to Mickey, put my fingerprint on, and then got into the park when it went green. It was great. It's such an efficient way to do it now, and I find the queues go down a lot quicker than they used to. I guess it's time to really just talk about my time in the parks. So it was an incredible trip. It's probably one of the best, if not the best, I think it's probably the best, to be honest. I really enjoyed my trip with Adam last year, but this was a whole new level of Disney for me, to the point where I'm definitely considering another solo trip next year. It was phenomenal. I got to decide what I wanted to do every day. I could change it at short, you know, I didn't need to give anybody any notice, and it was honestly incredible. And I think one of the reasons for that is you guys. I met so many of you in the parks. People came up to say hello, we had a chat. It was really nice to get some human interaction that wasn't a cast member. So I was really pleased. So thank you so much if you did come and say hello. But I also had friends there. I met up with Ellie a couple of times, who you guys will know because I'm sure you watch her channel. She's just started working over there. And then I also met up with a couple of other people. So I met my friend Alex, who I actually met when I was over there last year. We got chatting during the parade. We kind of exchanged Facebook and we've been chatting back and forth. I had some photos of her. I met up with her and her boyfriend for a little bit. I met up with Claire from A Clary Tale. Go and subscribe to her channel. I will leave it below for you because Claire is honestly the nicest person. She's on the CRP as well, and she is wonderful. I really enjoyed spending my day with her. She came and met me at Hollywood Studios. We did some Hollywood Studios, then went to Animal Kingdom, and it was so much fun, and I had such a lovely time. It's really nice when you meet people that you're so similar to and like-minded with, and I had a really wonderful day with Claire, which you'll see in the vlogs. And then I also met a couple of other people through Ellie, so Charlie and Abby. They were really, really lovely, and a couple of other people on their CRP as well. And it was just really, really nice. I met Lucy, who works at the Rose and Crown, who I followed on Instagram for ages. It's really strange, like you haven't met these people in real life, but you feel like you know them because you follow their Instagram. So it was really nice to meet everybody and be like, oh my god, I follow you, like, and I was a bit fangirly with Lucy. I was like, oh my god, I follow you, like, I really, really like your Instagram. And it was wonderful. I had such a lovely time. I didn't feel alone at all. But I do genuinely think that I had a very unique set of circumstances. I know a lot of people go to Disney alone, but I feel like with mine, part of me doesn't want to book it again because I'll probably never get that experience again, but part of me really wants to book it again because I loved being on my own. I only actually spent 2 full days on my own out of the 7. I saw Ellie on the Monday, I saw Claire, I saw Sophie and Dave as well. On the the Tuesday I saw them for Wishes as well. We met a wonderful couple as well, bless them, Charlotte and Ross, who were on their honeymoon and who were subscribers, and yeah, it was such a nice time. Like, not being stopped, that's not the nice thing, but it was just really nice to speak to people who are so like-minded. And in the UK sometimes I feel like the people in my real life don't get the whole Disney thing, but everybody there gets the whole Disney thing, and it's just so nice to chat to people. It was even nice, I met a random family in Hollywood Studios. I was sat at my table eating my pizza on my own, there was nowhere else to sit, and they were like, can we join you? And I was like, yeah, of course, like, I'm commanding this whole table and there's just me. So we got chatting, they were like, you're here alone, you know, and we got talking about UK and US politics, which is quite dangerous, but it was really good to get an insight from them, and it was just so nice. I met some lovely girls who had just graduated at Fantasmic. They were happy to like have a chit chat. I always, if I saw a family as well trying to get like a selfie, I always stopped and was like, do you want a photo all together? Because I feel like that is good karma. And they were like, oh, some of them were like, oh yes please, and we got chatting and all that sort of thing. Then they'd take one from me. So I had so many amazing photos taken by absolute strangers on this holiday. And with my memory maker, I've got over 2,000 photos, which is ridiculous. I was on my own. Like, normally I give Adam the camera and I'm like, can you film while I take photos? And I only got 2,500 in my 2 weeks last year. So this time I got 2,000 on my own. It was pretty impressive. So this trip for me was very different in the sense it was more laid back. I didn't do any dining, or I didn't have the dining plan. I have to admit, I really missed the Disney dining plan, because once you start paying for your food on Disney, you actually realise how expensive it is. I was only eating 2 meals a day, max, and sometimes it was like 1 quick service and 1 snack, and that was it, because it was so expensive. And to be honest, my appetite is a lot less in the Florida heat anyway, so it's fine for me, but it's incredibly expensive. It's like $14 plus tax for a chicken nugget meal. That's insane. I ate a lot of kids meals. I had, when I went to Animal Kingdom, the only thing I ate there was the Yak and Yeti chicken fried rice boxes. They're $5 and it's like a meal. It's like one of the best value snacks you can get on Disney. You can see I ate a lot of snacks. There was one day where I just ate snacks all day, but it was fine. And also what I did a lot was I used the free water service. So when you go to a quick service, you can get a tap water for free. Some people don't like to drink Florida tap water because they don't think it tastes very nice. I can't really tell the difference, so I just drank it. But I did miss the dining plan. I had table service on 2 occasions. I had 9 Dragons in Epcot with Ellie and Charlie, with the day we watched Illuminations. That was really nice. I had a big bowl of chicken fried rice, lovely, and some spring rolls, and it was really tasty. I would recommend it if you're into Chinese food. Probably not one that I would do again though, if I'm honest, because I feel like there's different foods that you can get on Disney and I can have like chicken fried rice at home. So maybe not one that I would go to again, but I'm really glad I've done it. And then the second one, I went to Be Our Guest with Ellie and Adam Hatton, who I follow as well, and I think you guys probably follow him too, but if not, I'll leave his link below as well, and I'll leave Ellie's, and I'll leave Charlie's Instagram and Claire, and I'll leave everybody below. But basically, we have Be Our Guest. Now, Be Our Guest, I have a big issue with Be Our Guest. I do not think it is value for money when you're paying for it. If it's on your dining plan, then that's fine, but I genuinely don't think it's value for me. I had a piece of salmon that didn't even come with any carbs, $32. Not worth it. Not worth it. I'm so glad Adam asked for more bread at one point, because I was like, I need to eat my $32 worth of bread. And then because I was rushing to get to Happily Ever After, because it was my last night there, I didn't meet the Beast. I left Ellie in the queue to meet Beast. Adam didn't meet the Beast either. He went off and did his own thing. And yeah, so for me, I love the setting. It's beautiful. But I'm really happy that me and Brogan are only going to do breakfast or lunch there in September, because I just don't think the main course food is worth it. I don't like the steak. Ellie loves the steak. I don't like the steak. I think you can get better steak on Disney for the price. And my salmon was nice, but there wasn't any carb with it. I was so annoyed. Like, I was like, oh, I was expecting like it was a huge piece of salmon, but I was just expecting a bit more. And I think that's what I've heard a lot of people say with Be Our Guest. Like, if you go for dinner, you go to meet the Beast. Like, that's what you're there to do, aren't you? If you're not bothered about meeting the Beast, save yourself a table service credit, go for breakfast or lunch. Because honestly, yeah, I just wasn't that impressed with it this time. I wasn't that impressed with it last time. So that's twice now been for dinner, and I'm just not feeling it. Breakfast or lunch is the one for me for Be Our Guest, I think. I am going to do a whole video on my favourite quick services, but I'll probably do that when I get back from Florida with Brogan, because I'm thinking with my dining plan I can get a more balanced view of things, and I don't want to half-arse it. So where did I eat this time? Columbia Harbour House is one of my favourites in Disney, and Pecco, no, okay, alright, I always say it's wrong. Claire from A Fairy Tale has ruined my life twofold. The first bit is that Pecco Bill's is not called Pecco Bill's, it's called Pecco's Bill. So Pecco Bill's is not a thing, but it's Pecco's Bill. So I've been pronouncing it wrong for years. So Pecco's Bill is incredible. They have an amazing sandwich bar. It's like a salad bar. Basically, it's Mexican. And so I had the fajita platter. And then you basically get like these little cartons. So I had guacamole and salsa in one, cheese and sour cream, but it's unlimited. You can go back and get more, you can fill your boots. Incredible. Like one of my favourite quick services on Disney. I also had the fish and chips from the Rose and Crown at one point. That was really nice, a bit of nostalgia. I was honestly just escaping from the sunshine at that point. Where else did I eat? Oh, I think my favourite quick services this time was Blaze Pizza in downtown Disney, Disney Springs. And a huge thank you to Charlotte and Ross, because they actually were like, we've got a spare dining credit, and they bought my pizza because they are clearly angels from above. And oh my god, I'll insert a picture. It was incredible. It was probably the best pizza I've ever had in my entire life. Ellie was there as well. We were like, let's go and grab some pizza, and we saw them in the queue, and then we got chatting with them again because we've both seen them and they've watched both our channels, and it was really lovely, and we sat down with them, we had a lovely meal. Insane. It's the one. I'm so jealous I don't live there and I can't have a Blaze every week. It was so good. If I was going to open a pizza restaurant over here, I want it to be a Blaze pizza. Honestly, it was so good. And the second quick service that I really enjoyed was also a pizza place, and it was Pizza Rizzo in Hollywood Studios, which used to be the old Pizza Planet. The pizzas are exactly the same. They're nothing special. It's not like Blaze where you can pick all your toppings and have it made fresh. It's just a bog standard pizza. But Disney pizza is so good anyway. And it was more about the setting. So I was really upset when they got rid of Pizza Planet. Like, I was really upset about it. I was like, what is this travesty? And then they made Pizza Rizzo. And if you go into Pizza Rizzo and you order your pizza, get your pizza and then go and sit upstairs, because upstairs it's like a typical, it's like a side room, which is like an Italian family restaurant garden. So they've got like the white bits going around the side, the white fences going around the side. They've got the, oh gosh, what are they called? Like trellises. They've got a dance floor. There's a disco ball. It's like a disco. They were playing 90s music. Me and Claire got up and had a little dance at one point. It was so good. And actually the food there is really good. I really like Disney Caesar salad. Claire had a massive Caesar salad rather than a pizza. It looked insane. And I had a cheese pizza. But it was the experience. We had such a laugh and it was so much fun sitting in that room. I would thoroughly recommend that if you are in Hollywood Studios. I just find Hollywood Studios quick service very limiting. And yes, I didn't really want pizza, but I'm glad we had it because I'm glad we got to eat at Pizza Rizzo because it was so much fun. The problem is they only open like 10 till 4. They're not open for dinner at the moment. They're only open for lunch. So if you do want to have some lunch there, please go and have it at Pizza Rizzo because it was fun. So another good thing about going at this time of year was Flower and Garden. It did not disappoint again this year. The topiaries are beautiful. The food is really good. I had the frozen drink, rose drink from France. The violet lemonade was incredible. That's just by Canada. In the pineapple, it's called pineapple something, and it's right by the flower garden that everyone basically takes a photo of, and it was just so tasty. Like everyone was like, oh, it tastes like Parma violets, but it didn't. It was just so refreshing. It was so nice, and I love Flower and Garden. Again, if I had the dining plan, I would have used a lot more of my snack credits there. Like, I think it can get very expensive. I wanted to try Frushi again, but I tried it last year, and yeah, I just love looking at all the topiaries. Like the Winnie the Pooh one's my favourite, and I love the Anna and Elsa one. And since I last went as well, obviously, Norway, the full pavilion is open. I really enjoyed Frozen Ever After. It's an insane queue. Make sure you get a fast pass for it. And I also really enjoyed meeting Anna and Elsa in their new home in the summer house. And yeah, the queues weren't that bad for Anna and Elsa. Actually, I think I waited about 30 minutes for it. But yeah, it was really good. I should probably mention at this point as well that I stayed at All Star Movies for a night, and I checked in on the Tuesday because what I learned from this trip is when you check into a Disney hotel, you are a Disney hotel guest until the day you check out, but midnight. So if you check out at 10 AM, you are then a Disney hotel guest until midnight that day. So I strategically booked the Tuesday night in a Disney hotel because I wanted Epcot Extra Magic Hours on the Tuesday evening and Magic Kingdom Extra Magic Hours on the Wednesday evening. So even though I checked out Wednesday at 10 AM, I still got Extra Magic Hours Wednesday PM, which was amazing. I got so much done. And I really liked All Star Movies. Again, I'm probably going to do a bit of a video on it, a bit of a comparison video for the other Disney hotels that I've stayed in, but it was fine. To be honest, it was no better than the room I was in off-site. The bathroom was as small, which is one of the things we really liked about Old Key West. Actually, the bathroom was huge. Yeah, so the bathroom was small, but again, it was clean, it was convenient. I stayed in the Mighty Ducks section, which is like the furthest section away. So a bit of a trek in the heat, but it was fine. The theming is wonderful. I love the Toy Story bit, I love the 101 Dalmatians bit and the Fantasia bit. And they were doing some work in there, so they were painting Mickey in the pool. I spent a morning around the pool, it was really nice. Food court is fine, not as good as Port Orleans that I've stayed in, but it was good. I had a nice breakfast there. And I got the extra magic hours, I got to use the Disney buses, yeah, so all that jazz, it was great. And I really enjoyed staying there. I'm glad I did a night there. Would I go back? I wouldn't do 14 days at that hotel, I have to admit. It was, I don't know, I just really like Disney Deluxes and I really like Port Orleans, and I just felt they were a bit bigger and the resorts as a whole were a bit nicer. But it's a great hotel for if you're on a budget but you want to stay on Disney. And yeah, there's movies and sport, there's music and sport as well, so that it's quite a big hotel, quite a big complex. And I never found the wait for buses that bad, although I only really waited twice for them. So I guess I can't really give too much more than that on it, but I would recommend it if you do want to stay on Disney on a budget. You still got all the great benefits like extra magic hours, you can charge stuff to your room, magic bands. Yeah, it was great. So I really enjoyed my little stay at All Star Movies. I have to admit, I really missed staying on site for certain elements. The biggest one was the transport issue. I felt like I had to do full days and I was doing 17-hour days, whereas if I stay on Disney, I do a park in the morning, I go back and I have a nap, and then I go to a park or a swim, and I go back and I do another park in the evening. Whereas this time I was going out for when park was opening at 9 o'clock every day, and I wasn't getting back until the park was closed. And if I was at Magic Kingdom, sometimes that was 11 o'clock at night, so I wasn't getting back till like 12:30, because by the time I'd wandered down Main Street, done some photos, got the ferry to the ticket and transportation centre, because that's where you have to pick Ubers up from, then got my Uber, it was getting quite late. So I was shattered actually. It's taken me all this week to recover from it. So I did miss that about staying on Disney. I also really missed charging things to my room. I had to actually physically pay cash for stuff, so I missed the dining plan, I missed the transportation, and I missed charging things. That's the main things I think, and that's why I like to stay on Disney. So if I do another solo trip, I might try and stay on Disney, I might not, because I still found Red Lion a great hotel. It was very convenient, it was cheap to get to and from in the grand scheme of things, but staying on Disney, it kind of reinforced my decision as to why I always stay on Disney, because I just love that convenience element and I'm happy to pay for that. Some people aren't, but I'm very much happy to pay for that convenience element. I'm trying to think of other things that I did of note, but you'll see it all in the vlogs, and I don't want to kind of spoil the vlogs for you. But I think the highlights for me were the final wishes, which was incredible. There was talk of them doing like a special thing for Final Wishes, but they didn't. They just kept it to the bog standard show. But it was still lovely. We watched it from the corner of Main Street. I watched it with Sophie and Dave and the two of us and the mouse, who actually, I was just walking down Main Street trying to find somewhere to stand for it, and they were like, Charlotte, and so they called me over and we were chatting. They were like, you can stand, like, we've got an area here, you can sit with us. I was like, oh, thank you so much. I had such a lovely time. We had to sit down 2 hours before Wishes started. 2 whole hours. That is the longest I've ever waited for something, but I really, really needed to see it, so I didn't move. And I got some food and a drink, and then Sophie and Dave came and joined, and we all had an incredible view for the last Wishes. And then on the Saturday night, I went to see Happily Ever After. Like I said earlier, incredible. So I saw the second showing of it. Insane. Absolutely insane. And also I saw Once Upon a Time, which is the Newcastle projection show. And as somebody who was a very big Celebrate the Magic fan, I was not pleased about this at all. I was like, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't. And all the way through, I was like, I don't like it. I don't like it. And I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but then you get to the Winnie the Pooh part, and I just lost it, like completely lost it. I love Winnie the Pooh so much. He's my favourite character, apart from Stitch. He's just so cuddly, and he just, nostalgia and all that sort of thing just gives me good feelings. And yeah, I just cried. I just cried. And I was with a girl called Charlotte, who I'd only met that day, who's on Ellie and Charlie's CRP programme, and she was like, oh bless you. I was like, oh, Winnie the Pooh. I was like, he's never in anything. So yeah, it was really special and I really enjoyed it. I don't enjoy it as much as Celebrate the Magic though, because I think the whole premise of Celebrate the Magic is very different, very nostalgic, whereas this is like Chip and Mrs. Potts telling some stories basically about Disney characters, and I much prefer Celebrate the Magic. So that was really nice. I also saw Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair for the first time, loved it. I'm not into shows around Disney, but I tried to do more shows this time and I adored it. I just made the mistake of watching it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when the sun was at its hottest. So I'd probably try and watch the 4 o'clock show now, or the first thing, you know, the 10 o'clock or the 11 o'clock I think it is, when it's a little bit cooler. But it was really good. I really like the mix of characters that they're using. Obviously there's a bit of Frozen in it. I'm still not over Frozen. I loved it. I went to Frozen sing-along on my own and just belted the tunes out. Also, Frozen sing-along, not for children in my opinion. Like, children can go, it's like not rude. So much more for the adults with the presenters of that one. So much for the adults in that one. I just thought it was really funny and I'm just laughing along, and most of the filming I've done from that is not from the sing-along but from their like little bit that they do, the two presenters, the historians of Arendelle I think they are, but it was really funny. I really enjoyed it. And I saw the usual stuff, so I saw Beauty and the Beast, I saw Fantasmic, I saw, what else did I see? Finding Nemo musical, Festival of the Lion King. I have to admit though, one thing I really wasn't impressed with was Rivers of Light. Again, I had to sit down an hour and 45 minutes before it started and I was bored. I was so bored throughout the whole thing. Obviously it was meant to be this brilliant spectacle and they obviously couldn't get it how they originally planned it, and I just wouldn't see it again if I'm honest. I really wish I'd gone to see Tree of Life Awakening instead, or done the nighttime safari. So I'll probably see it again in September because Brogan has to see it. I feel like you have to see it, but then I'm not bothered about seeing it twice. I would much rather go and do Tree of Life Awakening and nighttime safari. So yeah, that's what I think I will recommend to Brogan, and also next time I go I will probably just skip it entirely, to be honest. I'm just not that fussed about it at all. So I'm going to leave it there for today because I feel like I've gone on for a very, very long time. Like I said, if you have any specific questions, leave them below. I'll probably try and do a video actually on like questions I've missed. I'm going to do a whole video on Uber because I used Uber this time. I'm going to do a whole video on that. If there's anything else you want me to do a video on, leave it down below because I want to try and do more videos on pros and cons of things. So obviously the next video is going to be an Uber versus having a car and that sort of jazz really. So thank you for watching guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to go and follow me on Instagram, and don't forget to follow my second channel where I do daily and weekly vlogging, and there'll be a few bits spilling over like my Sephora haul on that one. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you all real soon. Next week the vlogs start and I really, really hope you enjoy them because I've put so much effort into filming and editing and all that sort of thing. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you soon. See you soon. See you real soon. Bye guys.